Hey Roy, so at the Go Big press conference, obviously you were there. It seemed like Conor McGregor was almost the show of that press conference. He had all these people around him he was arguing with and getting into different debates or whatever you want to call it. You were there. What did you make of all of that? Just seeing the back and forth that he had with these different people.
I just wish I was a little guy.
Okay.
Because it'd be kind of like a bad bully if I was a heavyweight picking on a 145 pounder.
Yeah.
But I was sitting next to what's his name, Luke.
Luke Rockhold.
No. Who was the last guy that beat Conor?
Oh, the Irish guy.
Joe.
Yeah.
So I was sitting next to Joe, and when Conor was just yapping, just talking about, oh, you're so, like, blah, blah. And I told Joe, I'm like, this is your time right now. If you want to get some PR out of this, you should be like, dude, just shut your mouth. I beat you in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Just, calm down. And then they'd be like, who's this Joe Duffy guy?
Right.
He beat Conor McGregor? What? 30 seconds? What?
Yeah.
So that he could have got PR, but he didn't want to do that. Because he was, he's a very humble guy. So yeah. I respect that. And then, but then, like, when they were talking about you want to fight, you guys want to, like, switch me for money, like you want to fight me to make more money, right? And that doesn't make any sense because they fight on Fox Sports, or on Fox, so they wouldn't make any more money. Or at least if I was them, I'd be like, hey, Lorenzo, Dana, we need to talk. Yeah. Because if you're making more money on Fox and not pay-per-view, then hey, we need to talk. So I would have brought that up. But Joe was just very humble, and I was like, dude, this is your time. Like,
and he's the one that could have talked because he actually beat him.
Right. So
that's the one that did the least talk.
like me be like, dude, just be quiet. Like, I can't say that because it's not my division. But Joe beat him, so he could actually ramp it up and try to, I was trying to help him up on some PR points. Yeah. But Chris didn't talk to him yet.
At one point, he used to talk about the fighting. I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to beat this guy. Now it seems to be more about the money. I'm the money guy and all this stuff. But at least that's what he talked. Seemed like he talked most in this one. What do you make of that? That change in, now I'm the money guy and that type of conversation.
You know what? There was already a guy that does that, so he's just using his pattern. Okay. And if you can make $200 million a fight and being that money guy.
So you think he's following the Money Mayweather pattern?
Dude, dude, the whole reason why you fight is because you're trying to make a couple bucks. Right. We're not fighting because this is business. Like, this is the only business that we're in that don't talk about money. But and he's actually talking about money, so good for him.
I think Luke Rockhold or somebody said he should tone it down. Do you think he should tone it down, or is that just who he is and he's doing what he needs?
No, I think the thing is it's like with me, like normal people don't even watch MMA know who I am. Okay. And normal people, I mean, there was like I have a very diverse demographic from old people to young kids to so when regular old Joes off the street that don't even watch MMA know who Conor McGregor is, he's doing something right. Right. Yeah. So I mean, as long as that's the thing is, if you know who I am and you're going to tune in to watch Roy Nelson and you don't know who anybody else is in the division is, I'm all for it. Okay. Because I'm bringing on a whole nother fan base to to fighting.
And him and Jose Aldo, they had the butted heads, when they did the face-off. How do you see that fight playing out, and what did you think when, they had that face-off and got into a little skirmish there?
I'm glad that Frankie Edgar's going to be waiting in the wings, so if someone pulls out, everybody will still have the belt. Yeah,
but who do you see winning as far as Aldo?
You know what? Nobody's beat Aldo, and that's the thing is Aldo. You gotta take it from the champ, and I put my money still with just because he's the champ and he hasn't got beaten Aldo hasn't got beaten 6 years, 7 years, something like that. Yeah, a lot. Okay. More than Nick Diaz's suspension. Okay.
And last thing, you yourself said about the heavyweights that heavyweights with the power that they have, you don't understand why some heavyweights don't go for the power. You were mentioning some of the fights where people have gone for it, and those fights have turned into knockouts. Do you think some heavyweights are just afraid of the power, and that's why they don't go for the knockouts because they're afraid they'll get knocked out themselves?
Yeah, the thing is about when you fight, you're always worried about losing. And then you're also worried about getting hurt. Right. And if you're worried about getting hurt, that's where you tend not to go 100%, but then there's a whole nother way you can win. Like in our sport, all you gotta do is play tag, and you can win. It's not like in football where you got a whole where you can just kind of rub it down somebody's throat, and just out muscle them, out beat them, you know, like. But eventually the time runs out, you know. But the thing is you got offense and defense a whole different way.
I had somebody ask me, what about a submission? It seems like most of your fights finish by knockouts. Any chance you could see a submission against Josh Barnett?
Yeah, no, submissions are always, you know, I'm open for them. It just
works out more.
If it happens, it happens.
Right. And one last question, actually. So we were talking about the rounds, and you were mentioning how with 3 rounds, sometimes it's hard for you to get that rhythm in enough time to win the fights. Do you really think if MMA fights were based more like boxing with the 10 rounds to 3 minutes, that the fights would be better, or how do you see that? How do you think MMA would change if it was
I think it would actually be a little bit more spectacular.
Okay.
Because you'd actually have more rest time.
Okay.
There's a 3 minutes break, 3 minutes break versus 5 minutes and a break, so it's like 2 rounds, and then you also you get people to actually kind of go out a little bit more explosive because they're trying to win that round because they have to be at a faster pace.
But don't you think that with only 3 rounds, it forces people to be explosive because they only have 3 rounds to fight?
No.
No?
Because usually what happens the first 2 minutes is they're doing a filling out. Have you ever seen everybody like dance around for 2 minutes and then they go for it? Because there's that filling out. They're like, I got time to work. There's time to work. But in 3 minutes, you don't have time to work. That's why it's the first, like in boxing, it's usually like the first 2 or 3 rounds. There's a filling out process. It's that first 9 minutes. Then after that, you're like, oh, there's that guy. Okay, I know he's doing this. I figured it out. Boom, boom, boom. You know, just keep going.
Okay. And lastly, what can the fight fans expect on your fight?
Fight fans can expect, you know, a W for Roy, and at the end of the day, just being happy that you tuned in to watch.
Thank you, Roy.